What's up guys, Syiler here, and we're back on the 5.3 PTR taking a look at another raid that will be able to drop rare pets in 5.3. In the last video we took a look at the ITK, and in this video we are going to take a look at SSC, and another raid that we'll look at in the future is Caverns, and all these raids will drop pets in 5.3. If you're a bit unsure where SSC is located, it's within the Coil Fun Reservoir in Zangamash, so you basically go under the water through the pipe and you'll end up here. And there's 3 pets total, as I said. The first one is a Tainted Waveling, and that's going to come from Hydros the Unstable, which is the first boss of the raid. And if you are confident with solo in the raid, things like that, I'm just giving you a brief summary now of which pet and which boss it comes from, so you can go to the raid, kill the bosses that you need to, and be done. But if you are a little bit unsure of where you need to be going and which bosses you need to be killing, then stay tuned and I will run through the whole raid later on for those who are new to the raid. The second pet is the Tide Skipper, and that's going to come from Morrowgrim the Tidewalker. And you'll be able to head to this boss as like the second boss. It isn't really considered as the second boss, but you can like basically head straight to it as the second boss without killing any other bosses. And once again, relatively easy boss to solo on your own. And then the final pet you're going to be able to pick up is the Coil Fun Stalker. And that comes from Lady Vash, which is the last boss of the instance, but they have changed it so you can head to her as the third boss as well. So in all, it should be a very short run for you to do. And as I said, if you are a bit unsure of what these bosses do and where you'll find them, then stay tuned and I will cover the whole raid in a moment. So, obviously once you've found the entrance, as I said, it's through the Coil Fun Reservoir underwater, you'll head down and you'll see like a waterfall. If you run towards it, the waterfall will disappear and you'll be able to get inside the raid. Now you don't need to be in a raid group anymore to enter raid, so you can just come out here on your own and head straight inside. And then the first challenge you're going to have is the elevator boss. Now make sure you get on it quick enough so that you don't fall and die, which happens quite a lot. People die a lot to the elevator boss. Once you're down the elevator, carry on following the path. There's a little nice like walkway for you to run across, and then there's the second boss, which is the second elevator. So good luck. Both of these are quite a challenge, and if you make it to this point, then you're already halfway done. And there we go, up the elevator. And then we can start clearing trash and get to the first boss. So most of this trash is going to be skippable for a level 90, and this raid should be soloable for level 85 onwards very, very easily. You probably could do it at 80 as well, but 85 to 90 just to be sure. So clear through the trash. You might pull a couple of packs, but there's nothing you really need to worry about with this trash. The majority of it's skippable. You'll see all these tainted water elementals, but these don't need to be killed to kill Hydros, so you can skip as many of them as you want. And then pull Hydros, and you'll most likely kill it before you need to worry about any of the mechanics. But basically, once it goes into phase 2, there'll be a beam, and it'll get a stacking debuff while in the beam and a stacking debuff while out of the beam. If you're finding you're taking too much damage, then go either outside of the beam or inside of the beam, and then it'll reset and you'll start getting the other stacks. So first boss dead, nice and easy, nice and quick. And now we're going to make our way to the second boss. So this trash isn't avoidable, unfortunately. You will have to pull this and deal with it. But once again, for level 90, this is not an issue at all. Just pull as much as you want and you can AoE it down. They don't really do anything that will cause you a threat. There's no like major CCs or anything along those lines. So just pull them all, AoE them down, and be done with them. So once that trash is dealt with, we can carry on and then make sure you don't fall into the water. But there'll be a pathway coming up very shortly. I get a bit confused. But as you see to the left here, there's a little pathway, and this is the one that we're going to be going down. You're going to head down here and turn right. Don't go left, but you want to go right. And down here we'll find the second boss, which is Morrowgrim the Tidewalker. And this boss is relatively easy as well. It does become more of a challenge if you have more people in the group. So if you are planning on doing this with a friend, you're going to run it each week, then take into consideration it will be harder if you bring an extra person. The reason for that is his mechanics, when you fight him on his own, won't come into play. But if you fight him with a friend, then one of you will be put into like a bubble, essentially, and you'll need to be broken out of that bubble. So just take that into consideration if you are bringing someone else with you. But if you're on your own, he won't do that mechanic to you because you're essentially the tank. And you'll just completely ignore like one of the more dangerous mechanics to the fight. Although, even with friends, it wouldn't be that dangerous anyway. So, with that out of the way, just kill the boss and AoE down these with the Murlocs, and then that'll be the second boss killed. And hopefully by now you've got a pet. Now these pets aren't on a guaranteed drop chance. They're on roughly a 10% drop chance. It isn't confirmed how high the drop chance actually is at the moment, but it's roughly a 10%, so you won't get one every raid, but after a few raids you'll pretty much have all the pets that you need. And if you do collect them all, I think there's 10 total. If you collect all 10 pets, there's 3 from SSC, 3 from TK, and 4 from Caverns, you will get the Tito Pet, which is a reference to the... Oh, I fell in the water, what a noob. If you do fall in the water, there are ramps that you can get up anyway. But basically, the Tito Pet is from the Opera event in Karazhan, the Wizard of Oz one, and you'll get a pet that looks like that. So if you make your way around, as I showed on the map a moment ago, you'll come to this control panel and you'll click it, and that'll open the bridge to Vash. You don't need to kill any other bosses, you can head to Vash as the third boss essentially. So no more having to worry about clearing the raid, you can just head straight here and kill the 3 bosses you need for the pets. Now this boss could be quite a challenge to solo, and the reason for that is once she goes into phase 2, she'll periodically stun you and does this lightning bolt thing, but when she gets to phase 2, she'll be immune to damage. And every time one of these adds get to her, she'll gain a stacking buff that will increase her damage done. And it'll also increase her size as well. And the way you get rid of her immunity shield is you'll see these 4 beams. And you need to get a tainted core to break one of the 4 beams essentially. And you'll see tainted cores come from the corrupt water elementals. And you'll see where they are by a green spit. And make sure you get to it quick enough before it despawns as well. You will only have a moment to get to it. But once you go over to it, kill it. And then loot the item, Tainted Core. And then head to one of these sort of pillars that the beams are coming from. And use the item, just click the pillar and then that'll turn it off. And try and kill as many of the adds as possible, because as I said, every time one gets to Vash, you will gain a damage increased debuff, which eventually will start to hurt. So you want to try and kill as many as you can while you're running around, but it isn't a huge issue. I would kill the stalkers though, as they do fear you for about 5 seconds, so definitely worth getting them out the way as they are a bit of a pain. And the tainted water elementals do take quite a while to spawn, so you will be fighting this boss for about 5 to 10 minutes. It did take me quite a while to kill just because of how slow it takes to get tainted cores. So there's the second one. Oh, sorry, the third one, is that? No, that's just the second one. There's the second one, so as you can see, this is already taking quite a while, and this is sped up by quite a lot. So, it's quite a long fight to get through. But just keep killing the adds as many as possible. As I said, if you do let too many get to her, or you do take too long, she's going to be one big bitch, and she's going to do a hell of a lot of damage to you. So there's the third core. One more, and then once we've got all 4 cores, we can proceed to kill her. So I would recommend, if you are going to use any DPS cooldowns, to save them for the last phase, the phase 3, so that, even if she is doing a high amount of damage, you've still got your defensive cooldowns, you've still got your burst damage, and then you can get her down before she's really a threat. So there we go, we've unlocked all 4. She is, unimmune to damage again, you can start DPSing her down. The adds will still keep coming, which, will keep increasing her damage. So it's basically a race against time now. I think she has a 400% damage increase or something crazy at this point. And the more she gets, the bigger she gets. And then you'll eventually kill her. As you see, I nearly die. She does start doing a hell of a lot of damage. And there you go. That is the last of the bosses in here. So good luck when 5.3 launches. And have fun doing the old raids and getting some pets. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya!